all you will need is your own body today. Having said that, if you know on any of the balance work you need something to hold on to, get a pole or a foam roller. Also for the ground, if you need to kneel, or for your head, go ahead and have a pad. And if you know you're tight in the hamstrings, we will do some hamstring stretches after bridge work. Always have a stretch strap. So those kind of things you can just have, right? From here, gentle drawing from pubic bone, belly button, rib cage, and just start that little rocking and just see how that balance is feeling. Open up your toes, try not to clench them. It doesn't have to be a releve. It's just a matter of finding the foundation of your foot to the floor, that's all. And then go ahead and leave that foot quite strong, slight bend in the knees. Let's inhale, reach, lift the heart. Exhale as you press it down. Go ahead and put your hands on your quads and roll your spine in a rounded spine, just down part way. See how those knees are feeling. Start to come up. Inhale, nice and strong. As you're coming up, go ahead when you're ready, start to give more lift of the heart. And then exhale as you go down, maybe getting a little deeper. Don't go passive squat all the way down quite yet. Let's go one more time. Reach it up. Find your breath. Exhale, bring it down. Roll that spine and then stay here, but lengthen out your spine into more of a neutral spine. So we're going to go cat-cow here. Take an inhale. Exhale, round and tuck your tailbone. So if you want more rounding, I slide my hands just past the glutes, tuck my tailbone under, pull in a little bit, and that gives me a little more posterior tilt. And then I'm going to exhale and squat. And inhale and tuck. My legs and my hips are feeling a bit tight, so I just widened out my position. Right, so I started in sits, but if you need to widen, go right ahead, right? Exhale and tuck. Let's go two more. Squat it down and tuck. And one more time. Neutral squat down. Exhale, tuck. Turn your knees, hips, ankles, toes out. Come all the way down to the ground. Place those hands and start a little spiraling down. So remember, this is a little too deep. Your hands are on your quads. Otherwise, let's wake up those feet a bit, wake up those toes. So you're coming right up on the ball of the foot. You're leaning into that knee a bit, right? Same on the other side. Here, because it is pure mat, we will be doing some stuff that's on the hands, right? So I want you to open up those fingers and just start playing a little bit with the hand position. If you can't get to the floor for this, do it up on your legs. Just kind of hold still and get some opening just up on your legs. So kind of play with those hands positions, just stretching things back. So it's not just the hand you're stretching, it's that wrist, it's that entire upper arm. So if I point my fingertips to me, I'll get a nice stretch. If I point them out to the side really close together and go from side to side, I'll get a stretch. And then without a lot of body weight into it, turn your palms up. Be very gentle with this one. And then go to knuckles, stretching out the knuckle line, and then bend those fingers in. From here, let's place the hands on the floor, shins or quads, and just stretch up. Staying down there, dangle your head, look through your legs, and then exhale, come back down. You're going to rise up on the balls of the feet as you come back down. Let's do it again. Exhale, press, look through, and bend down. So I'm putting weight into my hands and I'm leaning into my toes a bit. And one more time, press through. Stay in the press through. I'm going to turn more into parallel position. Bend the knees, drop the tailbone. Let's articulate all the way up, guys. Nice, slow up. On the up, we're going to lift that heart. Exhale, hands down center, heart. Take the hands behind, just on the back PSI, so that back crest. Turn your feet out, knees, hips, ankles a little bit. Push your belly out without zippering. And just kind of lengthen that chest up a bit. See how that feels. And then bring it back. Now, if this is quite aggressive, put your pubic bone on the wall and do the same thing. It's just a little less pressure. If you can go a little deeper, go ahead. And then bring it back. So gravity's not against us here. We will do this kind of floppy in the lying down position. Open that up. Bring it all the way through. Roll those shoulders. Let's go ahead and reach the arms straight out to me. Pull your fingers in your hands back. Lift your heart open. And then a really big heart hug, come all the way down. Protract those shoulders around that spine. Here we're going to retract the shoulders, lift the heart, look the other way. Big breath. And then exhale, round hug, come all the way down. And on this one, vision forward, pull those hands back, lift that heart. Big inhale. And exhale, just let that fold down. Reach one arm up, feet coming closer. Laterally flex, reach the arm away. Push the hips gently. For me, this is always super tight in the morning. So I'm just going to coast a little bit, get a little bit of joint mobility happening before I get really deeper into those muscles as they start to warm up more, right? So let's go ahead and hold that reach. Stir the pot here. Let that arm totally go loose. And breathe as big as you can into all those side rib cage muscles, right? From here, I just want you to fold that top arm down and come across the middle. Let's inhale, come all the way up with both arms. Reach the other arm. Lengthen as you go up. Don't kind of crunch. Think lift up and over. So you feel the length occurring here. Go ahead and coast a little bit. You might notice a big difference between left and right as you're doing this. And just press into that a little bit. Inhale, exhale here. Then go ahead and hold your stretch. Reach that arm actively. Stir your pot on the bottom arm. So one arm is very actively reaching, one arm is totally loose. Stir it the other way, inhale, exhale. Bigger the breath, the more stretch you'll get. Release out of the stretch a little bit, but fold the arm down and come all the way through to center line. Roll those shoulders. Let's go ahead and start at the back of the mat. And we're just gonna roll out to, walk out to 4-point stance. Peel it down vertebrae by vertebrae, hands down. Remember, if you don't like going on wrist, grab an ottoman. Walk it out in 4, 3, knees down on 2 and 1. So let's get that good curl of the toes. Let's stretch out those toes, you guys. So look through your legs, watch you're not sickling, and then sit back for the stretch, and then come forward and sit back. So just kind of go forward and backwards into the toe joints. Just giving them a little stretch. Try and tuck those toes under a little deeper each time. And then go ahead and stay back there, lean into it. Walk it up, and if you're okay with the knees bent here, come tall. If you're not okay, come up, right? Now just reach those arms behind you and actively press away. So I'm not clasping behind yet. I want a bit more heat in that shoulder area before I go there. And then you're going to let the arms go forward, round. So I'm rounding forward, I'm reaching forward, I'm in flexion. I'm going to push the hands behind me, lift my heart, and open to extension through neckline and thoracic. One more time, round. Even deeper if you can, around that spine. And then push the hands away and lift the heart. And then find yourself in neutral. Come onto the hands, uncurl the toes, paddle that out a little bit. Let's do angry cat to cat cow. Exhale, round the spine, nice and strong. Stay in the rounded. Push the hips back to the heels. Walk your fingers forward, you guys. Feel like it's too far forward and you feel a stretch in your lats here. And then bring your hands back into position as you round up. Go through your neutral into your cow, lengthen and lift up. Beautiful. Exhale, drop your tailbone, round your spine, angry cat. Try not to have too big of a butt squeeze. Lean back, have that happening through the rectus abdominis, that 6-pack muscle, right? Big inhale here. Exhale, come into your 4-point stance. Go through your 4-point stance, lengthen, find yourself in cat. In cow. And then find neutral. We're going to thread the needle here. Take one arm, doesn't matter to me which one, reach it back, bend down, kind of sneak that shoulder through a little bit, look to the sky. Now you might need to spend a few moments here just kind of waving before you take that hand off. All right, we're not super warm yet. Now when you're ready, you can take the hand off if you've got the shoulder down. If you're okay, grab behind that hip, rotate a little deeper. Big breath here, you guys. And exhale as you bring the hand down to the ground, de-rotate that spine. Give a few little wiggles in the middle, just kind of sternum drop a little bit, wiggle things around. There's no right or wrong here. And then go ahead and go the other direction. Push away, kind of press in that push away a little bit here before you take that hand off. If it feels good, up comes the hand, still good. Wrap it behind your hip, rotate a bit more. Really big breath here, guys. Bring that hand down as you exhale to unfold. Keep on your 4-point stance. Let's get some sternum drops going. So I'm just keeping those elbows fairly straight. I'm not really moving my spine per se in flexion extension. I'm moving through the scapula, right? So drop down into the scapula, push away. So protraction, retraction. Inhale, exhale. Go 2 more. Nice. Really get the shoulder blades moving. 1 more. Now stay in the pushed away. And let's go sexy cat. So laterally flex. Just do lateral flexion for now. So take your tailbone over to one side and kind of look to it. So I can't see it, but I'm pulling it there. And then take it to the other side. So I'm taking my head and my tailbone the same direction. Just getting a weight-loaded little poodle wag here, but nice and slow. Now take that to sexy cat. So laterally flex, and then full flexion up. Laterally flex the other way, and cow in the middle. And just float through this big spinal movement happening. And then switch directions. And just use your breath casually, you guys. Inhale, exhale. There's a gentle zipper, but not a super strong one. we do want the spine to move, so don't over-zip her and make yourself stiff. Find yourself here, curl the toes, and we're going to lift into a down dog. So you might want to reach those hands forward, up, and I'm going to grab my mat. I always feel like I'm going to slip. The first thing I'm going to start with is the pawing, right? I've already started to warm up those toes a bit. Now I'm going to add some more mobility to the joint by pressing into it back and forth. And then drop both your heels if you're able to. A little tight, lift the heels, bend the knees. And then cycle down into your shoulders. So if you're pushing away from the floor and your shoulders are wrapped, you won't get there. Let your head come out of the turtle shell and then sneak down into your armpits. Deepen into this. One more. And then come forward into your full plank here, you guys. So if you're not wanting to go full plank, down go those knees, and let's go pouncing cat. So the knees can be down, the toes are curled, and I'm coming back and forth if I'm on the knees. This whole sequence can be done on the knees, or I'm up on the hands. Sorry, up on the toes. Let's go 4 more. 4 and 3. Exhale 2 and 1. Now go ahead and stay with the knees back here. So I'm leaning back and I should feel my quad turning on. I could have my knees down if I wanted to, but I'm lifted, holding for 5. That's deep. 4, 3, 2. Push all the way to straight. Walk your hands to your feet. In 4, 3. Bend the knees if you need to on 2 and 1. Give a little wiggle here. And then fully bend the knees, drop the tailbone. We're going to walk right back out again, guys. Big inhale up. Exhale, we're going to get some mobility movements going here. Come all the way down to the floor. Walk it out again. You can put the knees down at any time. I'm going to go out into full plank. So I'm going to show this with my knees down to start with. If your knees are up, just kind of imagine where we go. I'm going to pull forward and drive one knee forward to the outside and lean into my hip. And then push it back. Drive into the hip. Yeah. So if you are on the ground or if you are without knees, this is what I'm looking like. I'm going to drive that foot and actually put weight into it and drop into my hip. Kylie, yeah, there it is, Kylie. And then press it away. Now, if that feels okay, I want you to take the same hand as foot off. So I'm driving forward. I'm going to take it off. I'm dropping that hip down. I'm going to add a little rotation. Oh, there she is. And then it comes down. If I'm on the knee, I can do the exact same thing. Start getting a good rotation open. So you're really driving that leg forward. You're dropping the knee towards the ground. Do you have to put it down? No. Can you if you want to? Absolutely. All right. Let's do one more on each side. Open it. And bring it back. And one last time, you guys. Open it. Bring it back. Walk your hands back to your feet. In 4, 3, all the way in on 2 and 1. And then bend those knees, drop the tailbone, curl it all the way up, lift the heart. We're walking out one more time. And we're going to go into a little bit of extension wake up. So let's go ahead and walk it out. 4, 3, all the way out in 2 and 1. Drop the knees, uncurl the toes. Bring yourself all the way down. Have a small lateral rotation, legs open as comfortable. Wiggle your butt, wiggle your belly. No tension there. If you're a little bit tight, your hands are going to be farther forward because you're just going to push up a little bit. So I don't want to pull the abs in. I'm doing a floppy here. I'm not pulling my abs in. I'm just looking for mobility. So if I'm tight in the lumbar spine and I'm squeezing my butt and pulling my abs in, that means I'm coming too high for what my muscles and my spine are inviting. If you're okay here, you're welcome to come a little higher. So I'm not swan. I'm not aware of pulling my abs in. I'm not worried if I'm hanging on my shoulders. I just want to find that spine movement and then let it come down. If you feel you can come a little higher, bring your hands back. And again, let everything go loose. So we want to get into the spine movement here, but our inhibitors are going to be the tightness of the abdominals. Just kind of go up and down here, you guys. The tightness of that lower back, the muscles in the lower back, the muscles through the hip flexors, and then the actual bones themselves through the vertebrae, right? So one more time, and again, just slowly creeping a little higher if you're able to, and just hang out on this one for a count of 5. Nice big breaths. Don't pull your abs in. Don't tighten your butt. Hang out on your shoulders. I don't care. We're just feeling the back mobility here. Really hard not to pull the abs in, right? Because we spend so much time cueing that. So gently bring yourself down. Bring your hands forward and just give everything a wiggle. And we're going to do a little sphinx here to now turn on the abs. So bring your elbows right underneath your shoulders. Make 11s with your hands. So I'm kind of reaching up, arms, should I say. My legs are now going parallel, open as comfortable, so not laterally rotated. I'm going to push into my elbow and my palm so that I feel myself pushing away from the floor. And then I am going to draw the abs in. So instead of just letting your belly drop, you're going to draw the abdominals in, draw the shoulders down, slightly retract them. I'm looking at my thumbs. If you're able to look ahead, go ahead. And now find really big breaths here. Really pull your shoulders into your back pockets, draw your abdominals in, and this is just a hold. It's just a hold. Super hard place to find big breaths, you guys. Let's take 2 more big breaths. 1 more big one. Draw those belly buttons up and in. Now turn your elbows out and slowly let yourself come down. We're just going to push back into a child's pose. You can go wide and more flat-backed, or if your back feels it wants to round, you can round with your knees together and come in through. If your knees don't like that, come into your cat. Take 1 more breath here. And then peel it all the way up, roll those shoulders. Find a little bit of lateral rotation. Now, if you have sensitive knees, put a mat underneath. I have a small lateral rotation. I'm going to do a very gentle, mild thigh stretch. So from here, instead of being neutral, give me a little bit of supported spine. Your glute will turn on, your hamstring will turn on. Quads are the ones that are going to be saying hello. So we're going to lie back into our quad muscle without changing the spine, just as far as you can, and then gently come up. Right? So the upper body's heavy, we can add it. So we're going to lie back, keep your rib hip check, and then think from your sternum bone up, or belly, or sorry, rib cage up. Lengthen your torso up. Now bring that part of your spine back in, then pull up through the quads. So it's a bit segmental. You can flow it, but make sure that you're doing you do feel the difference between the two. Quad going back as far as you feel good and controlled. Now lengthen your upper torso, arms can open. Stretch that out. Bring the arms, the chin, and the thoracic back in, and gently pull in through your quad muscle. Let's do it again. Gently lie back. Open the arms, open the chest, open the heart. You can go a bit farther if you're able to. And then gently come in without kind of bouncing to come in or thrusting yourself up. Beautiful. Bring the hands down, reach them far forward. What feels too far? Curl the toes and lift into your down dog. So go ahead and paw here just a little bit more. And then we're just going to start driving that knee forward, but we're not putting the foot down this time. You can be on your knees. So I'm in my plank, and I'm going to drive a knee, and I'm going to kick it up. So I'm getting a bit more stretch here, and kick up. Inhale in, and press. If that's not happening, you're down here on the knees. And I still could be on my elbows on an ottoman if I wanted to. So we're going to go into a little bit of arabesque here, you guys. Go ahead and stay here. Point that toe. Laterally rotate out your hips. So that's your arabesque. Flex the foot. Bend the knee. There's the attitude. Can you gently look towards that foot, theoretically? Big breath here. Pull those hips back into square. Drive that leg in the air all the way forward. All the way forward. You might have to help it. You might have to inchworm it. Now from here, if our hips are dropped, it's hard to stand tall. Get your booty up a little bit. Find some power. Front leg glute, lift your chest. So we're long here. And I'm just going to go into a bend and straighten. Don't be on a balance beam. If you can go deeper, go ahead. If you're feeling stable and you want to start a little arm pattern, go right ahead. Let's go 4. So we're just really finding that lunge. Now, if the back toes are not having that little flexion in them, laterally rotate out that back leg a little bit. Perfectly fine. Especially if you have a bunion or arthritis going on there. Go 1 more time. Stay in that forward knee. Bring your back leg in a little bit. I tapped you in the sternum bone. Stand tall. From here, we're going to pull down from the sky. Find your balance point. Remember, you could use a pole or your roller here, you guys. Now stay in the down, stay in the down. Give me a small tuck of the tailbone. Reach the arms, bow and arrow to the back leg. Just the ribs. If you can go a little deeper in that lunge leg, go ahead. Let's go 4. Rotate around, cut the room in half with your vision. 3. Exhale, 2. And 1. Bring it to the front. lower that leg, uncurl the toe. So this front leg we're going to take farther forward and drop into the hip. Now this is the hip that I'm not going deep in. So if you guys are going to want to go right in, lift one arm, lift the other, reach back, grab that leg, go right ahead. I'm still being a little careful here in this one hip. Go ahead and find the stretch that's working for you. Cycle your breath. If you're like me and the hips are a little miffy, I'm working a little joint movement here. I'm slowly coming in and I'm piking my hips back. All right, so I've just gone somewhere a little different. Now go ahead and laterally rotate out that front leg, hands down, and find your little blaster pose. Go to your elbows if you want. Again, I'm staying slightly out. Out means that my booty's farther back. Instead of pulling my hips forward, deepening the stretch, I'm pushing my hips out. Here, for me, I'm doing a little poodle leg in this position. If this feels good, put your elbow on your knee, rotate a little deeper, and get a little bit of gecko going there. Cycle your breath, guys. Bring it back to center. Move the hips back. Bring that leg more parallel. And just give me a point and flex leaning over that front leg. Point and flex. Try and get those toes pointed all the way down. In fact, if you take your hand, you go to point your toes, and you can't quite get them down, run your fingers along your toes. Give them a little push. And feel how your shin gets a little stretch there. And then draw it up. Pull on your toes. Feel how the bottom of the arch gets a little stretch. So go ahead and just play a little bit. If you're ever feeling tight somewhere, give an extra little play. Use your hands to demand the movement. Take your hands to the inside of the front leg. Bring that around. Curl the toes. We're going to lift. Now, if you feel too close, back it up a little bit. Paw just a little bit, and then we're going to the opposite leg, right? So I'm going to drive in and kick out. I can be on my knees, drive into supported spine. When I kick out here, I'm fairly neutral in my spine. Inhale, exhale. Let's go forward. Your middle finger is running straight up your mat. I am choosing to flex my foot as I kick out. It's more hamstring. So if you're tight in hamstrings, just keep your toe pointed or foot pointed. Reach it out, stay here, deepen into that. Laterally rotate out into arabesque. Feel that stretch. Bend the knee for attitude, flex the foot. And if you can, drop those shoulders down. See if you can play peekaboo to that foot. So you're getting a little extension going in that lower back. You're getting some rotation happening there. Bring it back. And we're going to drive that foot all the way forward. Take a moment to lift your hips before you bring your torso up to find position. If you're spun open, face it forward. See if you can get that toe curled in the back. If it's not happening, just kind of go more warrior. And then start gentle on the push in and out. Look at that front knee. Make sure you're not collapsing, right? So as I'm doing this movement, I don't want to be collapsing my knee in. I want to find the glute max more so in this movement. So when I come into my lunge, on the side here, there's a nice tracking between the outside of my knee and my baby toe, not the inside of my knee and my big toe. Add the arms when you're ready, guys. Let's go 4. So I'm just push-pulling the arms. 3 and 2. Should get that booty warm. Get down there. 1. Now stay halfway forward. Sneak your back leg in. Tap your sternum bone to go tall. Now, if it's too much stretch here, bring your back leg a little closer and then tuck. From here, we're going to start that down and up. Pull from the sky. How low? If you can control it to touch the knee, flirting, don't bang it, go right ahead. And if you have to slow it down to do that, go ahead and slow down. It's not about speed. Let's go ahead and hold it in the depth that you can. Reach both arms. Watch you not popping your shoulders. Bow and arrow. Cut the rib in half as you come around the corner. Rib cage rotate. Rib cage rotates. Speak, Fiona. Go 2 more. And go 1 more. Hold it in the front. Down goes that knee. Uncurl the back toe. Move your front foot forward or your back foot back. Whichever way works. Push into that hip. Lift the heart. 1 arm up, both arms up, little extension through the spine. Feels good, grab the back leg. Or not today. There it is, and open those shoulders. So again, if you're staying casual or that hip's giving you some grief, stay out of that deeper stretch and just give it a little movement back and forth, right? So you're wanting to get into the joint and into the stretch, but if the hips are not happy, make it casual. Go ahead and come out of that. Laterally rotate out that front leg. Go a little deeper. Here in this one, I'm just going to kind of do that side to side movement. Go ahead and drop deeper to the elbows if it feels good. Breathe as you go. And then add that little gecko, pushing into that knee. If the sole of your foot shines up as you push into the knee, that's okay. That leg's going into full lateral rotation there. Go ahead and peek up to the sky, get some rotation in your spine. Get your shoulders away from your ears, think long turtleneck. And come back to neutral. Hike your hips back and bring that front leg more into parallel. So here we're going to go to that point and flex again. So if you found the shins are a little tight, go ahead and push down those toes. And then flex them and pull up on those toes. So you're moving not just into the hamstring, you're getting that whole line, right? We're starting to get all those tiny little joints waking up and then all the muscles that kind of help with that. Bring your hands back to the front, bring your leg all the way around, curl the toes, last time up, walk your feet to your hands in 4, bend the knees as you need to, 3, on 2 and 1, you're all the way in at the front of your mat, bend your knees and fold up. Give some little wiggles here, guys. Big breath up. Ooh. Everything in the spine now has moved. We've done all our base movements. Have a nice wide squat. We're going to go into a passive squat. We're going to roll and then sit up on our bum. If you don't like the roll, don't roll. So come right down, tuck your tailbone, roll, and then sit yourself up. Beautiful. So towards the kind of the center of the mat, my booty's kind of 3/4 or 1/3 the way down the mat. My legs are going to reach, they're going to be off. My heels are together, my toes are apart. So I'm in a lateral rotation. From here, I'm going to scoot back and I'm going to draw my legs in and bring them right up. Now, I felt myself pull to one side. So try and be as accurate as you can in the middle of your mat. And then press to tall. Put your fingertips behind you. Lift to beach pose. And then exhale, find your scoop, round. Pull those heels in. As you pull them in, try and be as equal as you can. Grab around those legs, scoop those abdominals, and then slowly come out. Hands go behind, and let's beach pose up again. And one more time, scoop, scoop, scoop. We're going to stay here in our scoop, and we're going to do sacral rock. So I'm going to roll back a little bit and roll forward a bit. It's tiny. I'm literally just coming off my sits bones. I feel like I want to fall. My abs are going to try and counterbalance, and that's perfect. As I'm doing this, I don't want to throw my head back. I don't want to try to change the distance between my knees and shoulders and heels and bum. It's the heels and bum that's the biggest culprit. And then when you're ready, we've got 4 rolling like a balls. So roll, see the sky, and then freeze, find your balance. Watch if you're pulling to one side. So I am already pulling to my left. So I'm turning on my right rib hip check a little bit more. Inhale as you go back, exhale as you hold. Try not to go onto your neck. And try to balance without putting your feet down in the front. One more time. Inhale back. Exhale, hold. And then reach those legs long. Come out of that. Hands behind. Big beach pose. Lift the heart. Give a little wiggle there. And then find yourself in neutral. Sneak yourself back so your heels are in the corner of your mat. We're just going to do a little spine stretch. And then we're going to do our spine twist. So if it's hard to sit tall, right, and I don't feel I've got natural curves, I'm going to sit up on a pillow or something. Reach the arms. Exhale, neck and thoracic spine start to round. Keep that rounded. Lift the arms, see them in peripheral. Exhale, go a little deeper. Mindful here, lumbar spine stays vertical to the earth. So this is a stretch for the lower back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, go a little farther. So I'm not tight in the hamstring because I don't feel hamstrings. I feel my lower back stretch here. Inhale one more time, and this time go untraditional, go into the hamstrings, lean forward. Big breath, and then peel to tall, reach the arms. One more time. Let the arms drop, let the head drop, thoracic comes down. Inhale, arms in peripheral. Exhale, down a little farther. Inhale, in peripheral, and a little farther. Don't let your back leave that lumbar spine vertical to the earth until we do the last one. Here we go. Lengthen out. Let the head drop. Big breath down here. And then peel to find tall. Reach the arms, sit tall, little no in the neckline. Let's do our rotation. Inhale, rotate. Inhale, rotate. Inhale, rotate a bit more. Look to the backhand. Exhale, center. So traditional in this one for PAI is feet actually more so about a foot apart. So go ahead and try that. It's less stable. Inhale, rotate. You'll tend to want to move your hip more. Rotate. Rotate a bit more. Exhale, center. Inhale, rotate. Grow each time. Inhale, rotate. Inhale, rotate. Look to the back hand or rotate. That's fine. Exhale, center. Last time. Inhale, grow. Inhale, grow. Look to the back hand on that last one. Bring it center, release that out, roll those shoulders. Bring yourself forward just a little bit, flatten out your feet, grab behind your knees, and let's just do a little ab prep here. So you can keep your hands behind your knees, or you can reach your arms on top. On top is going to be harder, right? I'm going to start here. I'm going to go into that half curl back, and then come rounding over, and then peel to tall. Grab behind the legs, exhale, scoop, come off the sits bones. Your toes might lift, but your heels should not. Inhale, come forward with a reach. Exhale, stack to tall. We're going to take the stack to tall out. Exhale, scoop, go back. You can have your hands behind. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, roll back. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, roll back. One more time. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, roll all the way to the ground, vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae. Now, if you're a little tight, you're going to keep a small bend to the knees, but put your legs together. Otherwise, the arms go over the head. If you're okay, you're going to straighten the legs. We're going to do roll-ups here. Inhale, cervical nod. Push the belly and the back down into the floor as you round to come up. Fold forward, and then go right back into the next one. All the way back. Remember, you can bend the knees. Inhale, cervical nod. Now, if you've got a really tight back, sometimes we can hack that brain a little bit by putting a small little towel underneath your belly button so it feels more connected to the floor. So right here, it doesn't feel like it's leaving the floor. And sometimes subconsciously, that helps us engage to come up. Let's do one more. Remember, you can bend those knees if you want. Vertebrae by vertebrae, roll it down. Inhale, cervical nod, big breath out. Exhale. Fold forward, and on this one, we're going to roll down, stay down. Roll down and stay down. Beautiful. Bring those legs into just hook line, and then just give yourself a little wave side to side. Now, if you're a head rest person, grab it. Excuse me. Wiggle the knees from left to right. Don't be shy about lifting the hip. So I'm pushing into my foot a bit, and I'm lifting the hip. Just get a little more extra opening here. And then I'm lifting here. So I just made this area of my spine short. Now I actually want to make some space. So I can actually take my hands on my ribs and my other hand on my pelvis, and I can make some distance as I'm going left and right. And if I breathe in really big on that distance, it'll stretch things out a little bit. Wiggle yourself back into your center position. Find yourself in a slightly supported spine. Let's find some toe taps, and we'll just kind of keep advancing them. So in a slightly supported spine, knee fold one, knee fold the other. Avoid hugging the knees in. Have a brick wall. Legs are slightly apart. And without any movement through my rib hip, I'm going to just move one leg towards the floor and bring it up. So it's an exhale down, inhale up. Now, if this feels good, you can change it to a flex, which basically means the foot goes down in flex position. You have to go a little farther. If this is working, reach the arms to the sky. And you can start having them go in opposition to the legs. Now, you know your stepping stones, you guys. So if you're feeling good, the connections are happening, you're not losing your rib hip, start to extend that leg out. If this is still feeling good, we're just going to add a smidgen of a roll up, which changes it from toe taps, kind of like a setup towards hundreds. So when I bring the leg in, I'm going to roll up. And then I'm going to lie down, open, exhale, roll up. So I can do that from toe tap or leg extension. Cervical nod, exhale, roll up, reach. Inhale down, exhale up. Two more. Inhale down. The leg that is not moving is literally not moving. So don't let it pull in any tighter. Don't let it drop. Keep it active. Go two more. Finish one. If you're not even on both sides, do one more. From here, lower the head, leave it down. Find that rib hip nice and strong, and let's do double leg toe tap. Deathly slow. 4, 3, 2, don't lose your rib hip. and bring it up as slow. 4, 3, 2, 1. Feels good. Out go those arms. Still feels good. Those legs kick out to long. If when you touch down, if you don't touch down, don't fight it, right? Especially if there's a pop in the back, like you're feeling you're lifting. But if you can get the hands and the feet to gently, ever so gently flirt with the ground, is there one side coming down faster than the other? I am coming down right, faster than left. So I'm going to roll up and look at my hips and make sure I'm square. I'm going to look at those feet going down and see if there's a reason maybe why they're not going equal. And just kind of correct that. Let's go 2 more of whatever you chose. And then just give me 1 more. Pull those abs in nice and strong. Pull it all the way in. As you pull it in, grab behind those legs. Use that to roll yourself up, tabletop reset. Fingers point to the bum, or they point out to the sides. Feet come in a little tighter, in line with my sits bones. I'm going to press those hips. Now here, if my knees were way in here and my knees were going over my toes, I actually want to find the glutes and hams. So I want those knees in line with the feet. And if you're okay, neck goes up. And then bring it back, which actually would be neutral. But because it's against gravity, it's heavy. Bring it down. If your shoulders are not having it, turn your hands out to the side a bit. Just avoid turning your hands, the fingers facing away from your body. That's unnatural on the elbow joint. Well, it's not unnatural. It's just we kind of just jam into our joints then. Here I can't really hyperextend too much. Go ahead and leave that booty up there. Squeeze those glutes. So don't just be here without a squeeze of the bum. Come up high enough you feel your butt cheeks squeeze. And hold for 5, 4. Watch your shoulder, Darwin. 3, 2, 1. Bring it all the way down. Reach those legs. Roll those shoulders, you guys. Couple inhales, exhales. We're going to go into, we'll come back to it. Let's go side leg series. Let's reach it. Just ignore me for a second. Reach it, come long. If this is not comfortable, I'd rather you not post your head up because there's a real kink going on there. I'd bring my arm forward and put some pillows underneath here, right? First level is to bend the knee to 90 degrees. Second is to anchor. The farther out my anchor, the more support I have. Third is to reach it actively with both legs reaching. Then you'll notice as you do that, your ribs drop down to the floor. Zipper up and pull the ribs up slightly. Hand can go down. And we're just going to do leg side lift series 1. So we're just lifting and lowering. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, exhale. Go 2 more. And I'm pointing, flexing that foot. That's a secondary. Now go ahead and leave that leg reaching in the center. If you need your fingers down, go ahead. And let's go side leg lift series 2. Get your circles going. If you can take your hand off, go ahead. With circles, try and come in peripheral vision and then push your leg right back without arching or flexing the spine. So the spine, again, is neutral here. Go 2 more. That leg is just heavy. And go 1. Now go the other direction. If the leg is too heavy, you can bend the knee and do a smaller circle, right? Go 2 more. And go 1. Now keep that leg reaching and do singles. Bring the bottom leg up, lower the bottom leg. Bring it up, lower. Notice we sickle the ankles to get the sensation of the foot coming up, but it's just my toes touching. Get your ankle trying to close. 4 more. Get that leg way up there. You're going to notice right here, the oblique muscles and the QL and the erectus spinae, they're all supporting this. So this is not actually all that easy. Now go ahead and let's do doubles. Stagger. Lower legs both a bit. Lift the top leg, lift the bottom leg to greet, lower both. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Don't roll back on your ass. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Squeeze the legs, 4 doubles. 4, 3, breathe out as you lift. 2, and 1. Now lower the legs. Bring this bottom leg forward, anchor the toes. If your toes do not like this anchor, you can bend the knees and leave it out. It's just a little wobblier. Is that a word? This hand is going to bend. This hand's going to go here. I don't have to have that elbow there. I can keep this hand down. On this exercise, I'm going to flex my foot, single leg kick. And press back. Side kick series, Side kick series. 2, and press. Inhale, inhale. So here's your add-on. As I extend that leg behind me, I'm going to push into my elbow and lift my rib cage off. And then I'm going to go inhale, inhale, and exhale, lift. Watch as you lift, you don't take the ribs forward, but you try and take them to the sky. And lift. 2 more. You might be feeling that side booty a bit. 1 more. Keep that leg reaching behind and just give me those rib cage lifts. Lift, lift. Go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down, reach the arm, relax your bottom leg, rotate, stretch out that top hip. So you can just kind of roll here a little bit, give a little stretch into that top leg. Glute med in men, we're saying hello on that one. And then we're going to reach that arm out again. If you've got a headrest, it can still be there. Here you can have the knees bent. We're going to do the side sit-up to teaser. So I'll show you the first stepping stone. If you guys know the full one, leg straight and go for it, right? So I'm going to roll back, connect. My first level would be to come to a nice little sit-up here with my knees down, and then I'm going to bring it back down. Second level, when I come into that position, I'll maybe lift the legs, reach and hold, and bring it back down, and then you've got your full, right? Exhale, nice. You guys are going where you need to. That's what I like to see. In this position, if you are here, you can reach the arms to your ears. It's harder. And then when you come down, that arm reaches back, but very delicately as you lengthen back, and that other arm can stay on top. It's harder. Inhale, scoop it around. Oh. Well, that was not pretty. Inhale. And exhale, bring it all the way back. We're going to do 1 more, you guys. Exhale, scoop, lengthen, lift, hold, stay here, bend your elbows, bend your knees, put your elbows behind you, kind of put your fist down and drop down, hip circles. Yes, tendency is to drop. I need you to open your shoulders, lift your heart, pull your abs in. So I'm quite lengthened here. If you're okay, if you're happier with knees bent, you can actually drop the feet down, put a paintbrush between your knees, and you're doing a little circle. So you go round one direction and then stop in the center and turn the other way. Now, if you're okay, up come the feet, circle and center. Exhale, circle. Keep your breastbone lifted and center. So when you get to center, you unwind. Get that paintbrush, squeeze it between your legs, lift your heart, zipper your abs, hip circles, and lift. So yes, you are getting the hip flexors here, gang. And lift 1 more time. And then to be really mean, you either finish with the legs here or bend, but we're going to teeter-totter back up into our teaser, hold for a brief moment, drop this elbow, find your mermaid. All right, wiggle into the mermaid, try and drop that hip down. Beautiful. Laterally flex over one direction, big breath here, and then rotate down to it. Bring it back to open, reach this arm. It's going to line up with the side of my booty. This shoulder is going to open. Traditionally, this hip doesn't lift. Lift that hip up. It just feels great to get that extension happening there. Both hands down, neutral alignment. So don't round to find it. Come back neutral. So you are welcome to squeeze that glute and lift that back leg. Activate the glute. If it feels good, start to kick it out. You know that front arm that's not really getting weighted in can go to your back. Keep your chest open. Or harder is it extends up. When you come up here, don't be shy about lifting a little higher. Right? So we're coming down and then go ahead and get a little extension, lift higher. Let's go 2 more. Lift that heart. Nice, you guys. Go 1 more. Lift that heart. Take that booty, come down part way, and drop the booty back down. Take this leg all the way over. Now, if that doesn't feel good, you're going to straighten out your bottom leg. Otherwise, this butt cheek is going to find the floor, and I'm going to take my opposite hand to the leg that's crossed and hug my booty in. So for me, I'm a little tight. My heel is lifting. I do want to get my butt cheek down, so I'm just going to ignore the fact that my foot lifted. If you can get both down and hug it in without kind of going into instant cramp, that's beautiful. 1 more breath. And then I'm going to take my elbow, rotate a bit more, put it on the outside of the knee, cycle tall, and then rotate away. Couple big inhales, exhales. And then go ahead and unpretzel yourself. If double pigeon's calling your name, go ahead and open to double pigeon. If that's a little aggressive, then you're just going to kind of go to a single pigeon where you take your bottom leg, cross it, and push out. So I just switched legs if I'm not able to do the double pigeon. If I'm okay in double pigeon, I'll go ahead and gently go into that and just open up those hips. We have that whole sequence on the other side, but we're not going to do the hip lift, right? We're going to go into a different movement because that was a bilateral movement. It was the same on both sides. We don't have to do the same movement when we go up on the other side. So go ahead and unpretzel yourself. Lie yourself nice and long. And let's find that side leg lift series. So again, if that neck doesn't like it, put some pillows underneath or with the arm and shoulder here. You can go 90 degrees, anchored or reaching actively. As soon as you're ready, lift that bottom rib cage a little bit. Left and right might be quite different. As I go up and down, if I can see this leg in peripheral vision, I'm piking. I want to be open and right up on my hip. I'm going to inhale, lift, exhale, lower shoulders are into your back pockets. Let's go 2 more. If you can, you lift the hand off. It's just more unstable, right? As soon as we start taking body parts off the floor, we're just more unstable. When you're ready, go into your circles. I always tend to put middle finger and thumb on the rib hip. As I push back, I notice I'm not arching and leaning forward, which I am. So I'm going to pull that back in, and I maybe, to get control of it, going to decrease the size of my circle. And then go the other way. Your priority is always to stabilize these movements first before we mobilize. If we're looking for muscular stabilization, if I'm looking for range of motion, I'd put my hand down and I'd let my hip go big. All right. So from here, reach that leg, hold it there. Fingertips can go down. I'm going to lift my bottom leg. Notice you kind of sickle to feel like it's coming together. Lift that bottom leg, which means you might have to hold your top leg lower down to achieve it. Lift. Lower. If you're not feeling your inner thigh and your obliques stabilizing, lift your top leg higher, but don't sickle then to achieve. Still get the leg up there. Let's go stagger, both legs reaching, lift the top, lift the bottom, greet them, lower them down with control. Notice how you really want to roll back on your ass cheeks. Try not to. Lift, lift, lower. You'll feel more engagement on the obliques as you lift both because they're heavy. Squeeze them together, lift, lower. Let's go 3. Ooh, those are heavy today. 2 and 1. Reach them long. Let's anchor that toe. So you might just kind of have to roll to get your anchor happening. I'm going to bring this hand here. If you're sitting back on your ribs, pull forward so that you open this elbow. So there is a massive stretch happening in the shoulder here. So if you've got some shoulder limitations, this in itself, you might need to stay here and just kind of rib pop versus open. 2 kicks forward. And 1 kick back. You guys know if I'm explaining something and you know the exercise, just go. Don't wait for me to start you, right? Now, mind's eye, are you wiggling that torso back and forth? So I haven't started to lift my ribs yet. I'm just on side kick series 2. Then when I'm ready, I'm going to lift the ribs as I extend my leg to the back without arching my back. Inhale, inhale, exhale. So what wants to happen as the leg comes forward is we want to flex the spine. And as we kick it back, we want to extend the spine or go into an arch. I'm trying to fight that, right? And press. So it's inhale, inhale, point the foot, exhale. One more time, and then we're going to stay for those rib lifts. So keep that leg point, toe pointed, foot pointed, extend it away, and lift and lower your rib cage. Lift, lift. Try not to pop the ribs forward and up, just straight up like a string. 5. Exhale, 4. Actively reach this leg. 3. It's working. 2. It's heavy. And 1. Lower it down. Let that leg come in and allow that booty and that back to have a little rotation here. If this feels good in this position, you are welcome to go ahead and straighten out that leg and get more stretch as you rotate around, right? When we're in the stretch, you let your abs go, you let your muscles go, you just sort of wiggle around. And you just kind of melt into a release. You're trying to let the muscles go on the releases, right? Couple cycles of breath. And we're going to go into front support. roll the leg. So instead of, we'll do the side sit-ups. Sorry. Do the side sit-ups first to get there. And then we're doing front support. So my first one would be knees bent, right? If you know full teaser, go guys. I'm going to roll and find myself here. And then bring it back. Hips, knees stacked. If that feels good, I'll lift the legs and find just 100. So I'm not coming higher on my hips. If it feels good, the legs are straight. I scoop. And then I reach. And then bring it down. And then that harder level is to scoop the rib hip up the top, lengthen it around. Once you're here, reach those arms by your vision, by your back, sorry, and then reach the hand back. Keep that arm back there, reaching over. That's heavy and it unbalances your body, right? So go ahead and play with that. Reach it. We just have one more and bring it down. The last one, we're going to stay up there. So we're not going to do hip circles here. But we are going to push the elbows back, bend the knees in, and drop back. Yeah, so I'm still dropping back. So what I'm going to do is send my legs out to straight. I'm on my elbows. This can be and is traditionally done up on the hands with the fingers pointing in or to the sides. Much more aggressive. So let's start here and then you can decide to stepping stone up. I'm going to start with a scoop of the abs. And as I do that, I'm in lateral rotation. I'm in lateral rotation here. I'm going to come really close here. I'm trying to push my toes down to the edge of the floor. That may not happen. If as you're doing it, you just can't get that to happen, or it just feels like you can't lift your booty. If I take a pad of any sort or roll up your mat, and I put that at the end, that sometimes helps that, right? So you could choose that. So from here, let's press that up. Keep that pressed up and hold for 5. Nice and long. 4, 3, 2. Lower the hips. Now if you're like, okay, yeah, I know I got that, and you want a higher lift, up you come. Hands go behind a little bit, right? Now I push into my feet, my baby toes, and I lift my hips. Ooh, there she is. Holding 5. 4, watch your hips aren't squirming. Try and lift the booty up. 2 and 1, bring it down. So you're going to do that again. If it feels good, you're going to alternate a leg lift. Don't have to, right? Press that up. Really push hard into one leg, lift the other. Woo! And bring it down. Stay stable. And then lift the opposite side. There's my dumbass side. And down. 2 more. Lift. And lower. Now notice my booty starting to drop. Lift, squeeze. One more time. Lift and lower. And then roll it down. That is just nasty. Rotate into your mermaid. I do not believe, Lisa, that is in, I think that is a tier 4. I don't know if you've seen that one or if that was like, what the hell is that, Fiona? Rotate. So give me lateral. I can't remember if that's tier 3. If it is, it's tier 3 or it's definitely a tier 4. And then rotate down. It's called front support. We have back support and front support. Open it. Bring it all the way out. Pull that shoulder all the way down. The booty's going to lift. Hand comes down. And I'm going to start that up and down to start with. As soon as that feels controlled, remember, I'm not rounding to get down there. I'm staying quite neutral with a bit of rotation. This hand can go behind. Go as deep as you can into that front arm. That works that tricep. And then go ahead and reach and lift. So my back doesn't love if I come up with this leg extended, but if it feels good for you to reach that leg long and come up here and lift, go right ahead. This side, actually, my body will invite it. The other side is just not so happy with. I try and stay as consistent as I can from left to right, unless I'm actually working on mobility because of an issue, right? Go one more time. Bring it all the way out. Tuck that foot in. Drop that booty. Stretch it over into lateral. Rotate it down. Back into lateral. All the way out. Take this leg all the way across. Pull it in. Let's get those hips. So I take this heel and I pull it in tighter to my bum. And then go ahead and hug that knee. Rotate to the sole of your foot that's facing the sky. And then I'm hunched. Try and sit tall. Oh. So the first one is the hug. The first one's hugging the knee in. I said rotate. There's a rotation, but I want you to hug the knee in so you feel that glute getting stretched across. Then when you're ready, take the elbow and then sit tall, rotate a little deeper. Remember, you could straighten out the bottom leg here, right? If there's any cramping going on, straighten out that base leg. Couple really big breaths. Hard position to rotate or to breathe big when we're in rotation, but brilliant place. Unpretzel yourself and go, if double pigeon is in your practice, wiggle around till you find a nice position for double pigeon and go ahead. Otherwise, take your bottom leg down, and then this leg is just going to go back a bit, and you're just going to find that pigeon by leaning forward just on the one leg, right? So I'm just trying to find that pigeon just on one leg. Yeah, instead of tucking this in towards your pubic bone, Denise, pull it out a bit and then try and rotate. If you can get that back leg extending away, that would be your traditional pigeon, right? I have a wall, so it's kind of stopping me. Also, I'm trying not to overstretch this hip. So if that's too much on the back hip, just bend it. Couple breaths there, and we are going to do a little bit of extension here, you guys. Slowly come out of that, and let's go ahead and lie ourselves down on our belly. So we're going to just start with Superman. Come all the way down. Superman is a nice base level exercise, which just gets an awareness into the shoulders, right? So my legs are open as comfortable, but parallel. And then my shoulders are just going to drop, which in most of us, that's where they're going to go. Ideally, the head's looking down. I'm going to turn a cheek. Right, if you want to turn a cheek, you can. So all I'm going to do is I'm not going to lift into extension. I'm just going to use my back extensors and come into neutral. So right now my shoulders are not where I'd want them to be. So I'm going to pull my shoulders back just a little bit so they're in line. Reach my hands in line with the side of my thighs. Turn my nose and lift my head ever so slightly. Pull my abs in, squeeze my glutes, and lift my feet maybe half an inch. And I'm just holding. And then I'm going to let it all flop down. I'm going to turn my head the other way. Pull the abs in. Don't let your abs go at all, though, guys. And then lengthen. Just find Superman. So it's not a lift. It's just finding straight. And then drip it down. Abs engaged. Don't let the abs go. And then exhale. Little Superman. Draw your shoulders down into your back pockets. And down. And then we're going to start to add on here, you guys. Exhale, little Superman. Inhale down. Bring your arms all the way around. Place your forehead into your hands. Pull your abs in. Push into your palms a bit and give me a little extension. So don't look up, just give me extension in the spine. Now that's not comfortable, go back to somewhere between Superman and extension. Now sneak your hands around. Maybe you can give yourself a little more lift, just a little more, and then lift your hands. Freeze where you can hold. Finding the back extensors. Legs are anchored, belly buttons are pulled in. 5, 4, 3, 2, turn the cheek, come back down. We're going to do that a second time. Give your butt a little wiggle. Take an inhale. Abs pulled in. Squeeze the glutes a little bit. Actively reach the legs. So you see my knees sort of going straight there. I'm looking for an active, long, straight leg. Turn your head back. Find your hands assisting you into lengthening in the thoracic spine and the neckline. And then lift the hands to hold. From here, I'm just going to reach the hands down and bring them back to my shoulders. Reach pinkies to thighs. Then to shoulders. Go 2 more. We're going to do a set of breaststroke right away. 1 more, and then float down. So here I want you to give me a lateral rotation of hip and socket. Wiggle the tailbone open, wiggle the booty open. Take an inhale, lift again, hands come off. So we're in extension. As I dive into the water, I'm going to lower my extension, creep my hands forward, and then bring my fingers, pinkies to the thighs, lift, thumbs to shoulders. Exhale, dive. If I want to add the legs, I will. So I'm going to lengthen up. Hold, thumbs to shoulders. Exhale, dive. Inhale, pinkies to thighs, belly buttons pulled in. Thumbs to shoulders, reach those legs actively. Exhale, dive. You've got 2 more. Inhale, pinkies to thighs, lift that thoracic, but not just the neck. Thumbs to shoulders, and dive. We have 1 more, guys. Find those extensions. Hold here, hold here. Turn your palms to the sky, drop your legs gently. Lift and lower through shoulder extension. Working for you, hold the legs up. Pull the abs in. Yes, you'll feel fatiguing through the back. Back muscles are working. Go 4 more. 4 and 3. Counterbalance with the abs. 2. Lift that heart. 1. And press back into whatever recovery is calling your name. Wherever you want to go. Inhale, exhale. So if your back when you come out of here doesn't ask to go into child's pose, that's a good thing. right? If it just asks to kind of sit tall and just look for a little bit of movement and a little bit of rocking back and forth, that's great. It doesn't have to go into that forward flexion. Ideally, our body exists with some extension in the spine. Well, not extension, but anterior tilt. So when you're working that, it's okay to feel like that nice tall posture feels good in your body. So let's go ahead and bring your hands to the floor. We're going to finish with the down dog. Curl those toes, lift those hips. Go ahead and paw here. So you just worked the hamstrings again, right? When you were lifting those legs, those hamstrings got another hello. So go ahead and paw at that floor. If you're okay, drop the heels, drop into your shoulders right away. If you're pushing away from the floor and you've kind of got this tense neck, let your head belong in the turtle shell. Let your shoulders come down and away, and then sink. Too hard on the shoulders, lift the heels, bend the knees, or should I say on the hamstring and the calf. Inhale, exhale, deep in here. Again, I'm holding the mat, very untraditional, but I feel like I'm always going to slip and I can't get as deep as I want, so I just hold. Come out of it a little bit, walk your hands to your feet in 4, not on your fingertips, flat hands. So if that means you have to bend your knees and lift your heels, do so. 3, 2, and 1. Heel toe open, and give me a little ragdoll. Let everything just drop. A little harder on the spine, pop those elbows up towards the upper part of the quad, or just above the knee, should I say. Otherwise, dangle it. Leave a little sway if that feels good. Let your head look through, let your vision look through your legs so that there's no activation in the neckline here. You're just letting that head be darn heavy at the end of your spine. And then just drag slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae. All the way up. Go ahead and roll those shoulders a little bit. Give a little wiggle through the spine. We are done.